Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about shapes. Now, here is what you can do if you want to build some shapes along with me. You're going to need 4 straws, or you can use strips of paper. So it'd be great if you had 2 full-length straws, 3 half straws, and 2 quarter-length straws. But you can also use paper, or you can use any other material to just have straight lines, okay? So here we go. Let's build. The first shape that we're going to build today is we are going to build a shape that is closed. So I want you to take a look at my picture right here. You see how this is closed and nothing can get out? Good. And then you see these 2 shapes here? They're also closed. But how are these different than the shape in the middle? These shapes have no corners. So when we talk about corners, we talk about where 2 straight sides meet, and they don't have straight sides, so they don't have corners. No straight sides and no corners. See, here is a corner, here is a corner, here is a corner, here is a corner, and here are my straight sides. This shape has no straight sides. This shape has no straight sides. So this has 0 straight sides and 0 corners. So we know that those shapes are called circles or ovals, but there's no straight sides and no straight corners. All right, let's look at our next one. We have open shapes and closed shapes. So take a look at the picture. Which one is open? Good. These are open and these are closed. So if I were to put a pig in a pen and I didn't want him to escape, should I put him in an open shape or a closed shape? A closed shape. That's right, because if he's in a closed shape, he cannot get out. So anything I put inside of that closed shape, it cannot escape. It cannot get out. All right, here's our next one. We're going to talk about a triangle. A triangle is a closed shape with 3 straight sides. So take a look at my picture. I have 3 straight sides. Here's one side, here's 2 sides, and here is the 3rd side. That means it's a triangle. Let's try this one. It has one side, it has 2 sides, and it has 3 sides. Now let's check these. Let's see if they have corners or angles. So I'm going to circle the corners. Corner number 1, corner number 2, corner number 3. My shape has 3 corners. Let's try this one. Corner number 1, corner number 2, corner number 3. 3 corners. Now, are they square corners? So in order to test to see if they're a square corner, I can take my square and I can move it and test it and see. So let's see. Is this one square? No. 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 Is this one square? Yes. We have 1 square corner. All right. But each shape has 3 corners and 3 sides. Let's see what we're going to build next. A rhombus. A rhombus is a closed shape. So is this a rhombus? No. Something can get in and something can get out. It's not closed. A rhombus is a closed shape with 4 straight sides of the same length. So all of these lines are the same length. This is the same length, and this is the same length. They're just turned, but they're all the same length. This one also has 4 straight sides with the same length. So these are called rhombuses. So here is my rhombus and here is my rhombus. Now let's check our corners. Let's see, do we have 4 corners in a rhombus? 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners, 4 corners. I got it, 4 corners. Let's try this one. 1 corner, 2 corner, 3 corners, 4 corners. A rhombus has 4 straight sides of the same length. They're sides and they're straight and they're the same length. But a square is a rhombus, and this is a rhombus also because they have 4 straight sides. Let's check our next one, a square. Here's my square from the last slide. I had my square. Now, a square is a closed shape with 4 straight sides of the same length and 4 square corners. So this is the same length as this is the same length. But do they have square corners? Let's test it out. 1 square corner, 2 square corners, 3 square corners, 4 square corners. How about this one? 1 square corner, 2 square corners, 3 square corners, and let's try that last one. Oh, he wants to be difficult. There we go. 4 square corners. A square is a closed shape with 4 straight sides of the same length and 4 square corners. Now, a question for you. If this is a square, but we said a rhombus is also a square can be a rhombus, okay? But is this shape right here, I'm going to highlight it, is this shape right here, let me hit undo, is this shape a square right here, that one? What do you think? Do you think it's a square? No. Why? Let's go back to the definition of a square. A square has to have 4 straight sides of the same length and 4 square corners. So let's see, did this have square corners in it? Let's take our square. Is that square? Is that square? Is that square? Is that square? No. So that does not work. I have to have square corners in order for that to be square, and that one did not. So it cannot, this is not a square. Only this one is a square. All right, let's keep going. Let's see if we got this. So we know what a square is. Now a rectangle. Let's listen to a definition of rectangle. Closed, so nothing can get out. Let's try and put my little piggy in there. Can the piggy escape? No, it's closed. It has to have 4 straight sides. Does it have 4 straight sides? 1, 2, 3, and 4. It has 4 straight sides, and it has to have 4 square corners. Let's test it out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yay, it has 4 square corners. So this is a rectangle. Now, wait a minute. I see something hiding over here. Is this a rectangle too? Let's see. Does it have 4 sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. It does. Does it have 4 corners? Let's see. 4 square corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. It does. It has 4 square corners and 4 straight sides. So this is a rectangle? Now, wait a minute. I thought you told me that this last slide, it was called a square. And then I thought you told me on this last side, it was called a rhombus. So you're telling me that a square can be a square, it can be a rhombus, and it can be a rectangle? It can be 3 different things? Well, guess what? You are right. It can be 3 different things. A square is so special. It can be a rectangle because it has 4 straight sides and 4 square corners. It can be a square because it is a closed shape with 4 straight sides of the same length and 4 square corners. And it's also a rhombus because it's a closed shape with 4 straight sides of the same length. That square is pretty special now. Next, a hexagon. A hexagon. This is new. It has 6 straight sides. So let's check my picture. 1, and I'm going to write on here because I think that will help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A hexagon has 6 straight sides, but the angles could be all different. The only thing in order for it to be a hexagon is it has to have 6 sides and 6 angles. And it does have 6 angles. 1, which we call these corners, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now they're not all square. Some of them are square corners, but some of them are not. So if I go here with my square, I can see this is a square corner. 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 This is a square corner, but uh-oh, this is not a square corner. So it has 5 square corners, but it still has 6 corners. Now, there's another one we may see hexagon. It looks like this. In order for it to be a hexagon, it has to have 6 sides. So let's do the test and see if this one has 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it has to have 6 corners or 6 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got it. So this is called a hexagon. Well, these shapes look different. Why? It doesn't matter what they look like. You always count the number of sides and the number of corners. That's how you name shapes. You don't name them just by what they look like. You have to pay attention to the rules for the shape. And the rules for a hexagon is 6 straight sides and 6 angles or 6 corners. Now, these are not squares in this one, because if I take my square, it is not going to fit in any of these. But that's okay. It doesn't have to fit, because it just has to have 6 corners or 6 angles. It does not have to have, they don't all have to be the same. You guys did so good today with our math lesson, and I am so glad, and I hope you remember your shapes. So let's go back and let's review. We started off and we talked about a triangle, 3 straight sides. Then we talked about a square, 4 straight sides of the same length and 4 corners. And then we talked about a rhombus, a closed shape with 4 straight sides of the same length. A rectangle, a closed shape with 4 straight sides and 4 square corners. A hexagon with 6 straight sides and 6 corners. That is a lot of shapes. I hope you had fun today. Until next time, this is Miss Davis, and I will see you later.